How to stop being lazy. Laziness and procrastination are all too common. It affects all of us. I don't care who you are. We all have those times where we just don't feel like doing anything. When we don't feel like doing the things that need to be done, we put them off. But maybe your situation is a little different. Maybe your greater challenge is laziness itself. Maybe your greater challenge is that you find it difficult to do anything in life. You find it difficult to muster up the strength to go after anything that you say you want. What a miserable place to be in when you have a craving or a desire for something better in life, but you don't find the will to do it. You don't find yourself being willing to do the daily disciplines that will create what it is that you want. That's a terrible place to be. You know, the worst kind of lazy person is the person who has no desire at all and they don't want to do anything, and so they're content with that. We might call that the sluggard. But when you are challenged with a laziness while at the same time having a desire for something better, that is a frustrating place to be. It's not uncommon for me to have a lot of people who are following mental motivation who are dealing with laziness and procrastination. You see, the true full-on sluggard would not follow such a page because they're not interested in improving themselves. If you're following this page, it's because you do have an interest to improve yourself. You do have a desire to do something better and more with your life. Your challenge is self-discipline. Your challenge is self-control. Your challenge is getting yourself to do the things necessary to create what it is that you want. That's why I think it's an important subject. This is not something simple. Your best life is yet to be lived. You have so much more capacity in you, and the only thing stopping you is yourself. The only thing stopping you is your lack of will. There's no desire, conviction, passion burning you and pushing you forward into doing the things that you need to be doing in life. There's an old proverb that talks about a lazy man who will put his hand into the bowl, but is too weary to bring it back to his mouth. You're willing to, in other words, take your fork, dig it into the dish, but you're just too lazy to bring it back to your mouth. That's a extreme example, a hyperbolic, exaggerated example to really make the point. Is that, in other words, we know we need to do things. We know we want something better. We know we need to do something else with our life, but we're reluctant to bring. We're too weary to bring the fork back to our mouth. That is laziness. When you eliminate certain things from your life that need to be done in order to complete a task. You see, that lazy person described in the proverb is willing to take their fork and put it into the dish, into the bowl, but they're not willing to bring it back. Half-assed is maybe what we might call that. In other words, you have a desire for something, so you'll reach for it. You just won't follow through. You won't do the things necessary to get it done. So you have these half-fulfilled things in your life. You have half-done projects. You make a good start. You make a good showing, but you're too lazy to finish it out. You're too lazy to do the things necessary to accomplish the goal, to complete the project, to say, man, this is finished, and then move on to the next achievement in life. Again, it's a bad place to be in, because again, you do have these desires. You still have the craving. You still have the passion. You still have the want of something greater, something more for yourself, but you're in your own way. You look to yourself for strength and you want to be able to depend on yourself, but you don't find it. You don't find yourself able to trust yourself. So you might think of somebody else and you say, man, if I can just get a hold of that person and they'll come over and help me out, and you don't doubt them at all because you've seen them do things. You've seen them get projects done, and you're thinking that's the right person to call to help me get something done. But you don't call on yourself. You don't rely upon yourself. You don't have the self-confidence. You can't rely on you. Well, that's what we want to change. We want to transform you to be somebody that you do rely upon, that you are the first person who comes to mind when it comes to getting something done, when it comes to following through. And you learn to stop putting things off all the time. You stop the laziness. You're willing to not only put your fork to the plate, you're willing to bring it back to your mouth, and then you're willing to clean it all up, put it away, get back up, and do it again the next day. That's the kind of will and determination it takes to create the kind of life that you want, to create the dreams that you want, the desires of your heart, man. This is the way they get manifested. It's by work. You can sit back and believe all you want to, and it's good to do that. It's good to visualize. It's good to picture these things. But if there is not preparation and seizing opportunities and work and follow through and determination, it's just not going to happen. For a lot of people, work truly is a four-letter word. They're afraid of work. They dread work. We even have names for this called workaholic. And so you don't certainly want to be that, right? You don't want to be labeled a workaholic, so you avoid the work altogether. Well, that's not the objective either. We want to get you to the place where if you can think it, you believe that you can do it, and you're willing to follow through with the action steps necessary to get it done. Well, if that's where you want to be, then that's exactly what this series is about, and you are exactly who this series is for. So we're going to talk about your belief about work. We're going to talk about the distractions in life. We're going to talk about teaching yourself how to be more energetic and work-oriented, how to be more forward-thinking, more forward-acting, how to start taking action, stop with the procrastination. You can literally rewire your brain to be something completely different than what you are now. So if you're challenged with laziness, we can rewire your brain to be an action taker, to be a worker, to be a doer, to be someone who follows through. It can be done. You have the ability. I could show up at your doorstep every day, threaten your life with a gun, and get you to do everything you need to do to create your dreams, right? Because at what point do you say, okay, I'm too lazy to do it, shoot me? You're not going to do that, right? But you don't have somebody coming to your door every day with a gun threatening you to do all the things you need to do to achieve your goal. Therefore, we're going to have to create that sort of thing in you without the external threat. But the point is that you do have that possible potential. You can get those things done because the person showing up with the gun proves it, because they could get you to do what needs to be done in order to achieve your goals. So let's rewire your brain. Let's transform your thinking and turn you from someone who's lazy to someone who is a doer. I know that's what you want. We can create that. Let's get that done. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.